You know, you have been pointing out that President Biden has been nothing but shrewd, but in your words, American voters have shown some eagerness to end the forever wars, but that not like this, right? The scenes are just too much. He is clearly betting, though, that in a few days, the glare of the media will be gone, people will move on. What do you see as the collateral damage here?
Well, the collateral damage, first and foremost, is the U.S. reputation as an ally and U.S. position in Eurasia, in an area that for over 100 years, the top thinkers in the business were saying, he who controls Eurasia controls the Eastern Hemisphere. Who controls the Eastern Hemisphere controls the world. It may sound old, but it's still pretty much true. And what we see now is the Taliban, without an air force, without cyber, without missiles, delivering a blow to the biggest, strongest superpower on the planet. And as we're leaving our allies in Taiwan, our allies in Japan, Australia, you name it, as well as in Europe, the Baltic states and Poland come to mind, our allies are questioning our commitment to stand by them. This is probably the biggest blow to American reputation since the fall of Saigon in 1975. We saw the same pictures of people clinging to the aircraft leaving, and also the fall of the Shah in 1979, where the Carter administration didn't do very much to save a strategic ally of the United States.
Yeah, and the repercussions from that are, you know, still reverberating 4 decades on. You know, there's
Very
a theory
much so.
here. Yeah, and I have to say, though, to just take a counterpoint here, there's a theory that, okay, let's talk about Taiwan and Ukraine. So if we talk about Taiwan and Ukraine and they're watching, there is a theory that China and Russia are only going to get a propaganda victory out of this, right? That strategically, it doesn't mean much. What do you say to that?
It's rubbish, because it is not the issue of whether or not we needed to leave Afghanistan. I am in favor of not engaging in nation building, not crusading for democracy in a tribal society that barely can read and write. 40% of Afghans are literate, and even higher percentage among women. But what I'm saying is you do not cut and run like that. You do not leave equipment worth of billions of dollars, 2,000 vehicles, including Humvees, missiles, shoulder-launched missiles, the equipment that would allow the Taliban to track down and kill brutally our collaborators. You have to leave in an orderly fashion, taking your people with you and protecting them. We airlifted 140,000 people from South Vietnam in the very end days of American presence there. We did not do that in Afghanistan. I saw figures up to 10,000 American citizens, not just soldiers, contractors, relatives, civilians are stuck in Afghanistan, and sooner or later, somebody will get killed. And then what?
And then what, you know, as you're speaking, we're showing the scenes from the airport, but what I always worry about is what we can't see. There could be, unfortunately, quite an escalation to come. I want to ask you about the exhaustion and the frustration among the U.S.'s closest allies. It's been palpable. It's been blunt. How do you believe they will change their posture?
Well, it depends which allies we're talking about.
Let's talk about clearly those NATO allies, right? I mean, let's talk about the
Right.
UK, France, and Germany.
Well, UK, France, and Germany should have gotten a wake-up call. Back in 2014, with the Russian engagement in Ukraine, they committed to paying 2% of their GDP to the military and military-related expenses. Britain does it, Germany and France do not, and other Europeans do not. 80% of NATO military budgets are paid by English speakers, US, Canada, and UK. So the Europeans had a wake-up call long ago that they prefer to turn to the other side and keep sleeping. Now, hopefully, they're going to wake up. Europe needs a much stronger, more robust military arm, clearly. And our Asian allies, unfortunately, I hate to say that, I'm against nuclear proliferation, but I won't be surprised if Taiwan and Japan are considering very serious nuclear programs as we speak. Because you cannot rely today on the United States security commitment.
Yeah, and that gives us right there, in a nutshell, the ramifications of this yet to come. Ariel Cohen, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council Eurasia Center, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to get more content like this.